feel old. I feel matured. Not a That's not true. Mature never crossed my mind. I'm going to have connectivity issues all night, so just bear with me. I apologize. I'm in a new location, and it's not completely set up. Um, I mean, this is my childhood bedroom, if you will. So bear with me. It has been an exciting couple of months. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I appreciate you guys letting me have the month off of June. As everybody who's watching or will watch this show knows, we have transitioned from New Jersey. We are now in Ohio. And as of yesterday, we are a fully functioning Death Star. And we had the big 4th of July sale, and you guys just came out of the woodworks to support all of the orders that came in. We should have everything shipped by Monday. So I appreciate this community. I appreciate this community so much. I've already had 2 people stop by the warehouse just to see how things were going. Bob came in and he said, "Put me to work. I drove 2 hours to be here. Put me to work." So I mean, the Phoenix family has already rallied around this endeavor, and I just absolutely, Mary, absolutely, you are a lot closer. And not only that, but every time the House of Rags does anything in Chicago, I'm going to be there. We are within driving range of Chicago now, just a couple of hours. I think it's a 6-hour drive, which is what it was to my parents' house from New Jersey. So I told them anytime and every time they do anything in Chicago, I'm going to be there. So I expect you, Mary, to be there as well. Yeah, absolutely. The Armor Auto Lab. Give me a call. Well, maybe not tomorrow, but tomorrow's a Sunday, and I try to separate church and state on Sundays. But I mean, you can definitely text me, and if I'm not, not doing something with the family, or if I'm not, this is 5. This is year 5. This might be a little bit more of a somber show than a birthday celebration is supposed to be, but there's been a lot. There's a lot that has happened in fires. If you go back to episode 1, this beard is not nearly as great. I understand now why presidents go in to the presidency office looking like, hey man, I'm cool, I'm suave, and they come out and they look haggard and all and raw. Yeah, my new internet sucks. Keith, I know, I'm aware, dude. I'm using this. I don't know if the cord's long enough. Yeah, I'm using this piece of equipment to boost my internet signal. So do me a favor and cut me some slack. It's my first episode, and I'm doing it out of my bed. I was a kid. Deal. Like I shouldn't even be doing this show because of how Raggedy Ann this is, but I'm going to do it because I've missed you guys, and it took me a long time, and it took a lot of effort to get here, and I missed you guys, and I wanted to be back, and I wanted to reconnect with my friends and my Phoenix family. I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Like, this is, Phoenix exists so that I can experience this sort of thing. So I understand that my internet sucks, and I'm doing the best I can. And hopefully in 2 weeks, this will be a whole different landscape. So until then, you're just going to have to bear with me. So year 5, the very first episode of Curmudgeon's Corner, I think, was like in October. It was with Papa Smurf, who's in the channels right now. I don't know if you remember this, but I dressed up as Papa Smurf, and I tried to mimic his YouTube channel. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for being here. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. It was a lot of fun. I mean, and it was really, it was Papa Smurf and all that. Even he encouraged me to do the show. And if you remember, once upon a time, it was the Fab Family show that was on Saturday nights. And then when he stopped doing Fab Family, Curmudgeon's Corner happened. Now we've evolved into the Corner Hangout. So I'd love to go back and reminisce with you guys the last 5 years. But before we get started, I definitely want to get back to some mental floss. So if you guys will indulge me, this is a very, very special one. And if you knew all the behind the scenes of what's going on in my life, you would understand why this mental floss means so very much to me. So without further ado, let's kick that off.
In order for something new to come, something old must go. Let go of what until now. Empty the cup and start from the beginning. It's not easy to do, but at the moment it's the only way how something that is blocked can be brought back to movement. Then sings it.
Bum, bum, bum. So I am now in Ohio. The old life that was New Jersey is over. Hey, you guys all remember the Colonel from our Las Vegas? Yeah, it tracks you. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you, Father, for the apple juice. That's awesome. The Colonel brought me an apple juice. Yeah, buddy. Anyway, yeah, the camera tracks people now. It's kind of nuts. Courtesy of, not courtesy, but inspired by Jamie. Anyway, yeah, so we turned 5. We turned 5 on, on the 4th of July, but I mean, you guys were a little bit busy for the 4th of July. I was a little bit busy with the 4th of July, so we skipped the 4th of July birthday bash. Did it the following weekend. So what I was saying was Fab Family, he retired, and the Curmudgeon's Corner was born. And here we all are. So it's been a wild ride. I don't even really remember. We started in my basement and my garage, and then Spittler and this other company had this great idea that I would manufacture for them, and so we got the warehouse, and the warehouse blew up, and then, as you guys know, the BC line closed down or got sold off or whatever, and the other company that I was 3PLing for, they went out of business, and now I have this ginormous warehouse in New Jersey, and it's costing me a crazy amount of money to support. And the 3PL business was what the 3PL business is what was going to pay for the warehouse. And so when you lose 2 companies that you're 3PLing for, one of which that you're partially manufacturing for, it's a blow. And I didn't think that I was going to survive, or Phoenix was going to survive 2024. I thought we were going to go out of business in 2024. I thought we were done. What's the evening choice of beverage? This is Buffalo Trace. It was ranked as one of the best whiskeys under a certain price point, and I had it on. I was on an airplane with my brother. I think we were doing it was either the Arizona shoot or the Texas shoot in archery, and he had bought me a couple of those airplane shots, and it was Buffalo Trace. I tried it and I really enjoyed it. And so this is Buffalo Trace. It's no bullet, but I like it. So anyway, hey, here's to the Phoenix family. Here's to 5 years. Thanks, everybody. Bing. So anyway, I honestly thought that we weren't going to survive 2024. And you guys all know Christian from Bio Bombs, and I always called him my big little brother because he's younger than me, but he is like 5 feet taller than the rest of us. And his company Bio Bombs is 3, maybe 4 years older than Phoenix. I know, like I think he was doing his 7th year. So he's like 7 or 8 years old, and I'm 5. So I've always just called him. And Fridays are the day that he usually has time to talk, and we talk. And I, a lot of my business model is based upon his business model and his pitfalls and the things that he's done and could be doing differently and stuff like that. So I would call him on Fridays. And one Friday in, I want to say it was early September of 2024, I called him and I was just really upset, and I was lamenting and telling him the state of affairs. By year 3, like this was always supposed to be a 5-year plan. Like I told, like we had a meeting with my family and a meeting with the investors, and it was like, it's going to take 5 years to really get off the ground. It's going to take a solid 5 years. And that means, like, I'm going to have to sacrifice everything. I'm going to have to sacrifice family time. I'm going to have to sacrifice spending money. We're going to have to sacrifice everything to get this off the ground. Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate that. I think it rocks too. So, and everybody was on board for the 5-year plan. It's going to take five years to really make a difference. Year 3, the investors pulled out. They didn't see the ROI. They didn't see the potential of the ROI, and they, basically said, for these reasons, we're out. So there was no more safety net. There was no more parachute. There was no more seeder money. It was Phoenix is going to sink or swim on Phoenix's merit alone. And yeah, right, Mary. I was grateful for the pause. It really was. So in 2024, I didn't know what I was going to do. We were done. It was like, I don't think we're going to make Christmas. And so I'm talking to Christian about it, and I'm just kind of lamenting and telling him, hey man, it was a wild ride, but I'm not going to make it. And he looked at my website and he was like, "Oh man, the website's pretty janky. It's pretty clunky. It's pretty, your website is probably one of the bigger problems that you have right now." And I said, "Well, my best friend from EMS, he went on to be a super duper computer nerd, and he does me pro bono work, and he gives me, he does me favors, and so I can't really make demands of him of everything that needs to be updated all the time. It's kind of like, hey guy, when you have an hour, can you give me some love? Can you show my website some attention? We need to fix this. We need to fix this. We need to update this. We need to update that." I'm really, I always tease that I'm a Gen Xer with that identifies as a boomer. I don't know. I'm not very tech savvy, as you can see with my internet status. Anyway, so I said, I can make suggestions to Emerson, and Emerson can What did you think, Keith? Tell me tomorrow, by the way, because tomorrow Titan's going to feel entirely different than it does now. All right. Anyway, so I'll make suggestions, and Emerson, when he can get to it, he can get to it. And that was on a Friday. And then Sunday, Eddie calls me. And I don't know if you guys remember Eddie before he started Thor, but Eddie was a big time IT guy for a massive healthcare system. And he calls me up on a Sunday, and he says, you got a couple of hours, because I want to redo your website. And that's when we rolled over from WooCommerce onto Shopify, and he did a bunch of stuff, and he updated it and put up the new graphics and made it more streamlined, and just made my website infinitely better. And that was on a Sunday. And I couldn't have, I knew that it came from Christian. I know Christian called Eddie and said, Eddie, you need to take care of Aaron. And again, I don't know if Christian paid Eddie or called in a favor or whatever it was. Or maybe it was just, hey, this is the community that we're in, and we're going to be a part of it. And then Eddie and Jamie both called me the following Tuesday and said, the House of Rags is going to carry Phoenix products. And they placed a ginormous order with me, and then promoted me. And it changed the trajectory of Phoenix. And we crossed the finish line of 2024 solely because the House of Rags jumped in and started buying and carrying Phoenix products, and Eddie and Jamie promoting Phoenix. And that's where things started to take a turn. And then in 2025, we started taking off. And then, and they invited me to SEMA in 2024. They invited me to SEMA last year in 2025. 25 on my own and just kind of walked the floor. And then in 2026, BioBombs invited Phoenix to because we did the collaboration of the Typhon. And then something truly magical happened. I got a phone call from Australia, and my original distributor I will plant my banner under somebody's flag, and that's it. And so you guys know that I was with Ospro Detailing, and he was my distributor in Australia, and he's been a supporter of Phoenix from day one, which was wild. But he couldn't run with the big dogs. He couldn't run with the big dogs, and he went out of business. And I remember he called me up, and he was really beat up about it. I just can't compete. Like the market is what the market is in Australia. Apparently there's four guys that run the entire market of detailing products out there. And if you don't kiss the ring of those four guys, they'll squeeze you out. And then there's this guy, his name is Ahmed. And he has a mechanics business, and he also has a detail and detail supply business. And his mission is to completely break up that monopoly. And Andrew met with him. Andrew's from Ospro Detailing. Andrew met with him and said, hey, you got to, I'll wait. Ahmed called me, and he's a big player. He is a big player in Australia. And now Phoenix E.O.D is one of, if not the hottest selling brand in Australia right now. We're the Air Jordans of Australia. And it's really exciting. It's crazy exciting. It's wild to think about the landscape that has changed in just 2 years. So let's talk about Ohio. I don't know if you guys know this, but New Jersey blows. It is probably the third worst state in the union right now. Um, our taxes have taxes. Did you know in the great state of New Jersey, there's a rain tax? And a rain tax, you might ask, what is a rain tax? A rain tax is based upon the square footage of non-permeable surface that you have. Meaning, like if you're Walmart and you have a parking lot in front of Walmart, you have to pay a tax on the square footage that that asphalt covers, that rainwater can't get into the ground because, rainwater doesn't run off and doesn't go into the ground somewhere else. It's the rainwater on that square footage in that one particular spot. I was paying something like it was close to $2,800 a month for the warehouse that I have. And quite frankly, the warehouse, once the BC line kicked and once the other company kicked, I'm left holding the bag of this warehouse of all this space that I don't necessarily need. Um, so now I have all this space that I don't need, and I'm paying for this space that I don't need, and I'm hemorrhaging. I'm hemorrhaging money, and that's all. Like I said, in 2024, I didn't think we were going to make it, and primarily it was because of the warehouse. Well, that was, I guess, 2024 was when both companies disappeared for whatever reason. I don't know if Brian shut down BC line, but I know that he went in when he got that bigger unit that he had, the 3 bays, as opposed to that little tiny shop that he originally had. He moved operations to that location, which makes sense. I mean, if you can do it yourself, you're going to save money. Yeah, David, and that was done because Chris Christie lost the presidency. He lost the presidency. So on his way out as governor, he was just like, I'm going to throw a heavy tax on gas. Screw you guys. I'm going home. You don't want me as president? I'm going to just bury you in taxes. What a dick. Anyway. So, I mean, like, I do not have any animosity towards Brian for moving in house. I would do it if it was me. I would have done it if I had the ability to go in house. I'd go in house. But it was a huge pendulum swing as far as sustainability, and Phoenix. In 2024, we were anytime a runoff like with Pan the Organizer doing best product reviews or Forensic Detail doing product reviews. Phoenix was always mentioned in the upper echelon with the big dogs, but that didn't reflect in sales. And people weren't just running out to grab Phoenix products just because somebody said, "Oh, hey, this microbrewery brand is good." That didn't translate into sales. It was like, wow, it's like winning the Oscars, but nobody going to your movie. Miller Detailing, what is up, my dude? So I'll wait. Thor comes rolling around. What's up, Chris M? Thor keeps us afloat. Thor keeps us afloat. In 2026, we have Ahmed from Detail Planet, and again, like I said, Australia. I'm ready to move to Australia at this point. But anyway, my lease was up in June, and I had to give them a 90 days notice. So that means March, I'm giving them a 90 days notice because I it's just not sustainable. That warehouse in New Jersey wasn't sustainable. In February, my folks are from around the northwestern PA, Ohio, northeastern Ohio area. In the year, in 2025, my dad had a triple bypass. And we have a very substantial amount of land up here. We call it the compound. Between compound, there's a substantial amount of land up here. And so, I mean, the 10-year plan was always for me to come back here eventually. And, hopefully Phoenix one day would make $1 bazillion and then, travel back and forth between New Jersey and Pennsylvania, Ohio wouldn't be that big of a deal. You could have, you could even, whatever, small planes. It wouldn't be that, money would no longer really be an issue. And so my 10-year plan was to eventually move back here to the compound. Should something happen to my father, I have to take care of my mother. If something happens to my mother, I need to be able to help out with my father. And then he had the triple bypass last year. And then it became one of those things where it was like, okay, maybe I should move operations back here to northwestern, northeastern Pennsylvania, Ohio. And therefore, should something happen, everything will be taken care of, and then I can just pack a bag and move back to PA. Chris M. So, did you move to Ohio? Or just move Phoenix operations? It won't let me. Oh, there you go. All right. I love that. Functional dock. Thank you. Come up to the warehouse, and it is awesome. It is twice the size of. It's twice the size at half the price. And I have scalability up to. I'll wait. I'm using like 3,000 square feet of an 11,000 square foot warehouse. So as I need it, as Thor starts sending me their 3PL stuff, I will expand out into that space. You're not freezing up. I'm freezing up. I have a very bad internet connection because I'm in my childhood bedroom using a janky internet booster to connect me to my 80-year-old parents' Wi-Fi. It's me. Anyway, what's up, Dark Dragon? I owe you some stuff. All right. So anyway, where were we? Yeah. The triple bypass. So the idea is, okay, let's move manufacturing and operations to Ohio. And then I can do 3PL. Well, yeah, that's the Jay-Z, that's the idea. So the idea behind me with the bigger warehouse, I've been in negotiations with Eddie and Jamie, that I'm going to be taking some of the burden of fulfilling their shipping. I don't think it's going to be for their website. I think it's going to be for Amazon. Are you going to ship to the 3PL? Or are you helping? The arrangement that I have with Thor is I'm going to take over their Amazon fulfillment stuff. So that their warehouse in Chicago can 100% focus on you guys from their website. From what I understand, the streams are getting crossed, and it's slowing down fulfillment times. And so I'm going to take on that responsibility of their Amazon. I'll wait. The Thor.com fulfillment stuff. So it's not the internet. Aaron moves and talks like this is in real life. He glitches. Yeah, this is true. I do glitch. I got to be honest with you. The last 2 weeks, I have been buffering the whole time. Like, just my brain is an hourglass spinning and doing nothing. Not yet, but I plan on it. Chris M. So anyway, original plan was to do 3PL and manufacturing. I know. Smurf, I am trying to weave this story as delicately as possible. All right. So let's just cut to the chase. Bottom line is, yes, I have moved to Northwestern PA. I've moved to Northwestern PA. I moved operations to Ohio, and I have moved myself to Northwestern PA. And you can focus in on that exact phrasing the way that you want to focus in on that exact phrasing. But I have moved myself to Northwestern PA. So that's why the mental floss was with the mental floss. All right, I'll wait. This is a new chapter. It's a fresh start. I have an amazing support group here. I've actually got 2 new employees that I couldn't be happier with. Both of them are my nephews. They live just down over the hill, and at my brother's section of the compound. And I think that I may have found the new heir of the kingdom. When I'm done with Phoenix, I think I may have the new heir of the kingdom. So it is very, very, very exciting. You need to get your folks some Starlink or something. I know. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm working on it. You're talking about somebody that had a VCR until like 1998. Anyway. This is an exciting time. My dad has come on board with the company. He is now he calls himself the senior vice president of operations, which is fantastic. And so I have Maston and Lachlan and my father all part of the operation now. It's really a lot of fun. And like I said, as of yesterday, we finally found a place for everything. It was so easy to pack up, but it was impossible to unpack, because when you're packing up, you just throw everything onto a pallet and move on to the next pallet, and throw everything onto a pallet and move on to the next pallet, and so on and so forth, rinse and repeat. But when you get to the other side of the rainbow, you got to take everything up. What is that? I guess, all right, put that over there, put that over there, put this over there. This is what worked at the old location, but it's not going to work here at the new location. It was really slow. And then today, you know how we'd run the buy a 100 milliliter bottle, get a 30 milliliter bottle for free. I ran out of 30 milliliter bottles. And so today I was just manufacturing, or downfilling, I should say, downfilling all the 30 milliliter bottles. So Monday, every order that has been placed with Phoenix over the last 2 weeks will be fulfilled and shipped out and on its way to you. I do apologize, but I mean, like, I don't think I could do anything more to just make my head explode than run a, Aaron is founder and janitor. Exactly right. Exactly right. Oh man, this is why I love this crowd. I love you guys. Seriously, this is how brothers and sisters are supposed to react to one another. You're just supposed to just be mean spirited, but out of love, and I just love that. I just love it. Daryl, what is up? It is great to see you, Daryl. Yeah, it's been a crazy ride, and I'm happy to be here. I'm excited for the new chapter. Can I just tell you guys, I had the most wonderful interaction with Yivin from DIY last night. He found out about my situation and he DM'd me and gave words of encouragement and congratulations and stuff like that. I mean, I can't see, like, I cannot see the CEO of Coca-Cola calling up the CEO of Pepsi. By the way, he's the CEO of Pepsi. I'm Coca-Cola. Uh, I can't see the CEO of Pepsi calling up the CEO of Coca-Cola and saying congratulations on your new adventure. I think that's real testimony um, to this community, and and I reflected to him, how Brian Spittler is my mentor, and Brian has always been one to say, "There's plenty to go around. Everybody has a seat at the table," and that was really reflected, in Ivan's uh, kindness to me last night. That was really great. Uh, Betamax and Laserdisc, noise. Hey, I'd be lying if I said I didn't still have my PlayStation 2. I love playing Final Fantasy 7. All right. I have spent probably over 100 hours playing Final Fantasy 7. Now, I don't know if anybody else has gotten the gold Chocobo, but this guy has gotten the gold Chocobo. Boop, 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 boop. Anyway, um, so that's kind of, and this is where we are. Year 5. We became 5 years old on the 4th of July, and I moved to Ohio on June 29th. So, I mean, if we're talking about uh, poetry, if we're talking about writing the book, I don't think it could be more poetic than moving the entire operation. The Phoenix rises again at year 5 in Ohio. Gran Turismo, dude, I got to be on, Nate, I got to be on. Gran Turismo 2, I think, was better than Gran Turismo 3. Gran Turismo 2, the soundtrack, Stone Temple Pilots, Garbage. The soundtrack to Gran Turismo 2 to this day is unbeatable. You can't convince me otherwise. Let me do a quick Google search of the soundtrack on Gran Turismo 2. Gran Turismo 2 million years. Okay. Oh, dude, are you kidding me? All right, so it had my favorite game by, I don't know, Two Crazy People, but then there's also STP. Oh, dude, Cardigans, Garbage, Rob Zombie, Foo Fighters, and the Crystal Method. You cannot tell me that there is a better soundtrack than Gran Turismo 2. That, I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? We're already off the rails. That's right, Keith. Maybe we'll start talking about Batman. I don't even care. My dad brought me some apple juice, so that gives me carte blanche to do whatever I want. Mist and Raven. Oh, Riven. Oh yeah, dude. Nate. When are we gonna hang out? Where do you live, Nate? We need to hang out. Enthusiast. Unless you got an Xbox X, what on earth would cause you to sell your 360? Like, I have like 2 possessions in Pennsylvania, and one of them is my Xbox. I brought that with me. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm bringing the Xbox. Leisure Shoot Larry with a floppy disk. That's great. That's so great. Leisure Larry. Um, I was close, but you moved. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, like, I still have some in New Jersey. I'll wait. I still have to do the no direction detail podcast, and that's with Brian. So my plan is once a month to go back to Spittler's shop, shoot the video, and then go back to Jersey, stay with my buddy Dave, and then my son still lives in New Jersey, so I will be hanging out with him in New Jersey. Nate, hit me up and let's hang out, dude. I mean, there are about 1,000 eateries that I'm never going to miss because I'm going to hit them every time I go back to Jersey. Remember Johnny Castaway? I do not remember Johnny Castaway, and that hurts my feelings because I think I'm pretty well versed in video games. Okay, so that's a great question. How do you feel about being next to Chelsea as she tortured your baby Kronos, Graphene? Um, I love Chelsea. She has been a sister to me for years now. I knew her before I started Phoenix. Um, I know her children. I know her husband. Like I consider myself a family friend, and Chelsea has been such a rock. We have had conversations that have spanned more than just chemicals. We've talked about our faith. We've talked about listening to me, and we're open books to each other. How I felt being next to Chelsea as she tortured Kronos, Graphene, I felt honored. I really did. Like, and you guys saw it firsthand. That was not pre-recorded. We didn't have a skit. Um, we didn't have what was it, trick photography or editing or cutting or anything of that nature. She said, "Why don't you come out to my shop in a week and bring a panel if you have it?" And so who was with me? There was somebody. One of the Phoenix family members was with me. I want to say, oh, it was Dr. Fred. Dr. Fred came up from Maryland to the warehouse, and I said we need to prep this panel and bring it up there. So Dr. Fred came up, and we used Papa Cut, and we polished the panel and the Peleus panel prep and all of that, and then we applied Protos graphene and let it cure for a full week, which is what you're supposed to do. And then I brought it out to Chelsea, and we did the torture test. So how do I feel? I feel honored that she was like, "Hey, let's test it out and let's do it live." Well, I don't know if it was live, but let's do it in one take. Yeah, I don't think it was live because yeah, I don't think it was live. I thought it was going to be live, but she was just like, no. She's like, I'm not ready to do it live. Let's just do it. And she's great. Like she's helped me with, because of the proximity that I had to her. She's in Lancaster now, which is more like 4 hours away from me versus 2 hours away from me, which again is not that big of a deal because I'm going out to see Spittler anyway. Um, she's helped me with a number of products and help me test products. I'll wait. She was instrumental in Fenrir. She was instrumental in Helios, Peleus, Furies version 2. We we are pumping it. Going to open a detail shop called Phoenix Coatings. What do you think? This is a text message from Australia. Going to open a detail shop called Phoenix Coatings. What do you think? I'm telling you, we are on fire in Australia. Oi, mate. Doing a live stream about you a few minutes ago. Anyway, so this was supposed to be a birthday celebration. Rick Smith was supposed to be here. Rick Smith was supposed to have a bunch of guests come on. I don't know what's going on. He said that he's tied up in something. I know he's going through some stuff. You know, it's going back to every person that you meet is facing a battle you know nothing about, or is fighting a battle you know nothing about. And that's, it goes back to showing kindness to one another. I should have worn that shirt. It's in that drawer right over there, but I decided to wear idiots doing idiot things because they're idiots instead, because it was supposed to be a fun show. What kicked off the Australian business? Yeah, so hey, DIY, and you just missed me talking about you. I was telling everybody about how you supported my you've been supporting me and the kindness that you showed me the other night and your DMs. So thanks for popping in. What kicked off the Australian business? Yeah, so like I said, I had a guy, his name is Andrew, and a beautiful human being. We talked many times on the phone. I've talked to his wife, talked with his kids. And he's such a wonderful guy, and that's the kind of person that I am. Is that if I, you know, if you show me, I will show you. Like I will match you as far as loyalty is concerned. And Andrew believed in Phoenix at year one, and so I'm like, hey, no matter what, you're going to be the distributor for Phoenix products in Australia, no matter what. Like I'm not interested in you know, oh, this guy has the potential of buying more from me, so I'm going to sell to him instead of you. You know, it was, you know, Andrew and I, we were ride or die together. And Andrew eventually couldn't continue the detail supply business and had to go back to doing his full-time job. So then there's this guy, his name is Ahmed, and he decides he wants to do something like MTE in Australia. So he holds like this detailer summit, and he invites everybody from all across the continent to come to Sydney, Australia, and 2 days of just detailing whatever. And it was a major success. I mean, they had detailers come in from all over the continent to come to this, for lack of a better term, MTE in Sydney. And Andrew was one of those detailers that came to this little summit, this detailer summit. And so Andrew goes over to Ahmed and was just like, hey, let me tell you about Phoenix E.O.D. And I will give you all the remaining product that I have for you to sample and try and see if you like it or whatnot. And Ahmed was really impressed with Andrew. And Andrew gave him all of his remaining stock, and then Ahmed used it, and then a couple of Ahmed's detailing buddies used it, and they loved it. And then Ahmed called me and said, hey, listen, I'm getting ready to start my own detail supply business. I'm going to pour a gazillion dollars into it, and it's going to be like I'm going to break the monopoly that is Umberto. I'm going to break the monopoly that is these 4 guys that hold all the purse strings of detailing supplies in Australia. And I want Phoenix E.O.D to be my flagship. Like you're going to be my premier company. And it has just been off to the races ever since. And he got Kronos into some of the hands of some of the biggest influencers over there in Australia, both on Instagram and TikTok. And they've been, you know, every day they're posting 4 to 5 videos on what they've been doing with Kronos. I'm selling Kronos in 1 liter bottles at a time to these guys because they go through so much of it so fast. 1 liter, that's 33.5 ounces or something like that. It's crazy. So I've been blessed. I've been blessed by friendship. I've been blessed by community. And I think that the products, oh, wait. I think the products are secondary to the relationships that I've formed and have found through the products. I've been able to create these kind of connections on the corner and stuff like that. Uh, Mary in particular, Fred Samovich, Eddie and Jamie, Ivan, Rick Smith, and then of course in these chat rooms, I look forward to every 2 weeks. I better see Kiev. Let's talk about Kiev, shall we? Kiev has single-handedly evolved the Pay It Forward campaign. And can we all agree on that? Can we all agree that Kiev, the Pay It Forward campaign started, but it wasn't until Kiev got involved that it truly involved. Kiev and Chelsea got involved, and it went to the next level. And then, of course, the House of Rags donating all the towels. That was, that's the trifecta of detailing. And then, and that's not to diminish all of the donations from everybody else. I mean, like Humberto, I think Humberto last year donated like 3 different polishers. I know that I'm going to be doing people an injustice by not listing everybody, but it's a full community coming together, helping other people. What a great face. What is it? A faucet? Is that a facet? Faucet? A faucet of what we're able to do as a community. Like, we come together, we joke, we laugh, we break bread, and then we help. Which Phoenix E.O.D product took the longest to perfect, and why? I will say Titan, my flagship, my best-selling product, is still such a pain in the balls. I hate the manufacturing process of Titan. So you're asking think of a vinaigrette salad dressing, and you have 2 fundamentally opposing elements that hate each other, right? You have water and you have SiO2, and they hate each other. But in order for Titan to exist, they have to play well in the sandbox. And so in the manufacturing process, I am constantly encountering separations, and you have to use an emulsifier to get the 2 to work together. But emulsifiers, emulsifiers, they attack every problem the same way. You can't just say they attack everything. So you might get a rejection of the scent. You might get a rejection of the color. You might of the dye. You might get a rejection, and so I don't know if you guys remember this, but a few years ago, 2 years ago, we had massive clumping of that green slime that was coming to the surface. And that was because it was grabbing the oils and clumping the oils together. Like, all right, yes, it's taking the water and the SiO2, and those are merging very nicely, but then it's also taking the oil and grabbing it and making it clump up. And then, for the most part, the product was fine, but if it got sucked up into the dipstick, it could cause I love Titan, but it is such a finicky bitch. Oh man. So I would say that Titan has taken the longest to perfect, and I'm still trying to perfect it. And which is why we're now tinkering with the idea of reducing the protection length but increasing the slickness and the shining and the gloss. Boom, boom, boom. Ease of use, versatility first. I would say that I don't think that any of those can exist without each other, but I would prioritize performance. I'll wait. It needs to work first, and then we can tweak it to make the other two better, right? So it needs to work first. So like, let's take Hydra, for example. The first version of Hydra, V1 Hydra, I sent it to Jamie, and Jamie was just like, meh, it's okay. It's an okay. It doesn't, I guess you could say it cleans. So we went right, like within 1 week. It was crazy because I had already had the labels printed, which is why everybody has a problem with my labels, even though, because it's a 1 ounce to 1 gallon on the label, but it's actually 1 ounce to 3 gallons in practicality. But when you order $5,000 worth of labels, it's hard to throw them away, and you just kind of go, what's on the website is the most accurate. Anyway, when we sent it to Jamie, and Jamie was just like, it's an okay rinseless. We have the ability to pivot immediately and say, okay, well, what was he looking for? What did he think? Like, what products were better in his opinion, and why? And then we can attack that problem and tweak it. So I would say performance is top priority, and then versatility and ease of use come second. I would say versatility is tertiary. So I would say performance, ease of use. I'll wait. I like to have products that can do more than one thing at a time. Like Hydra can be a glass cleaner, Hydra can be a clay loop, Hydra can be a rinseless, Hydra can be a waterless. I love the versatility of products. Same thing with Kraken, same thing with Typhon, same thing with Peleus. I think I'll wait. That in turn says, well, then why did you make Helios glass cleaner if Hydra and Peleus make such a great glass cleaner? And that goes 100% to a marketing point of view, where it was, if somebody is searching on Google or Amazon or whatever and looking for a glass cleaner, they're not typing in panel prep. They're not typing in rinseless wash. They're typing in glass cleaner. So based upon those two formulas and how well they work, how hard would it be to dial in on a dedicated glass cleaner? And again, it takes me so long to put out a product because I want to make sure it is perfect before we launch, and it does it better than anything else. And so, we're looking at the glass cleaner, and I'll take Jaylena Duck Pond Detailing, or Matt Ayers from Extra Mile Detailing. I use those two people as my primary target. And the reason why I use both of them as my primary target is because they are working in the hottest areas on the planet. Eileen from, these products, basically, they need to work in an extreme environment without any kind of yeah, performance has to go first, and versatility it should be last, and then ease of use, because I care about my customers. I don't want it to be difficult. I mean, oh, I love it. Like, here's a great, like, Colonite insulation wax. What is it? 458 Colonite 458 insulation wax. It's a fantastic wax. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Colonite, but it is a pain in the ass to work with. It really is. And job as Colonite, but is a way easier to use, then I'm going to go down that path. So, do I think that Glossum wax is as good of a wax as Colonite insulation wax? No, it's not. Is it easier to use? Absolutely. Is it priced better? Absolutely. So I don't know. Pick your poison. Oh wait, Mary, I was thinking the same thing. I thought it was on my side. Need to take a shot every time he says it. Okay, cheers. I should probably just the occasional detailer in the house. Whoop whoop. Good to see you, Israel. First day out of bed in a week and a half. Hope you're good, man. Israel, call me, dude. Like, or I'll call 8:45. Thank you. Yeah, 8:45. Colonite insulation wax 845. Hey, so I'm not still sleeping. Good to know. Hey, good to see you. It is good. Like, it is so, like, these guys are, you all are such, I consider you such old friends at this. We're year 5. Chelsea, I'm not sure where you are. Titan Tim is in Conway, South Carolina, and it is brutally hot and unbearably muggy. Like, when you go down to Conway, South Carolina, it's like breathing through a wet sweater. I would say it's like breathing through a wet sweater. My cousin Nick lives in Lexington, South Carolina, and it's just, oh my God. When will the Blue Raspberry Apex going to be ready? Okay, so Nate, that's a great question. The idea was I wanted to have it ready for the 4th of July 5th birthday celebration. And to move to Ohio. But it utterly failed. It all coagulated at the top and was real chunky. And I talked to the chemist, and again, it goes back to an emulsification issue that we think we figured out the problem. So I'm going to get back to it, but here we had to, the last 2 weeks we had to move to Ohio, and then the last 2 weeks after that, which was last week and this week, we had to move into the new warehouse, break everything down, get all the equipment out, get power to everything, get water lines run, and all of that stuff. So, fingers crossed. I'm hoping to revisit the Blue Raspberry soap next week, not this Monday, this week. This week I had to work on my taxes, and I got to do a whole bunch of paperwork and 100% legitimate as an operation in Ohio, and dissolve the operation in New Jersey, dissolve the LLC in New Jersey and have it reformed in Ohio. That's kind of what my pressing issues are, so that I make sure that I'm not violating, tax law and all that other nonsense of stupid bureaucracy. Remember that back in the day when I have an apple and you want the apple and you give me 50 cents for the apple and I give you the apple and the transaction is done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But now it's 2026 and we have bureaucracy that has bureaucracy that has bureaucracy that has bureaucracy. And I got to file a form with the township, and I got to file a form with the county. And I got to file a form with the state. I'll wait. So anyway, I'm hoping that the Blue Raspberry gets started back up a week from tomorrow or Monday. All right. Yeah, Nate, I agree with you. That's what the Eddie's comment was that. And so that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with the scent. And then if that works, I will try to add the color. From what the chemist was saying, the color is not usually the issue. You know, a dye is a dye is a dye. It's always water based. You shouldn't have any problem with the dye. The problem with scent is scents are oils, and oils, depending on what that oil is usually what the problem is. Now, we were mixing vanilla and blue and raspberry together and adding it. And the chemist thinks that the vanilla oil was probably the culprit because vanilla oil is very, very, vanilla doesn't play well in the sandbox with anybody. It just doesn't. It's a very hard oil to work with. So we're thinking and we're hoping that if we just eliminate, you know, because basically the vanilla was going to soften the raspberry a little bit, so it wasn't just so tart and in your face. It was going to kind of mellow it and make it a little bit sweeter. But screw all that. We're just going to go with tartness. So, so I'm going to eliminate the vanilla. I'm going to. I'll wait. If I can get those two to work together, then I'll add the dye and see if that works. If the dye doesn't work, then I just will eliminate it and we'll just go with the scent and the Apex soap. Which Phoenix product do you think is the most underrated and why? That's a great I'll wait. First and foremost, I think Phoenix E.O.D. in and of itself is a sleep. You know, people sleep on Phoenix. They just do. I, as Eddie would say, I think every one of my products slaps. I do. I stand behind each and every one of them. What I think is the most underrated is probably the Apex soap. And the reason why I say that is a couple of reasons. So every single year that Pan does his best of, Phoenix has shown up. And when he used to do the rankings versus just kind of clumping them into categories, S tier, A tier, B tier, whatever, when he was doing the actual rankings, Apex always came in number 2 to Car Pro Reset. And I don't know anything about Car Pro Reset. I don't know. I try really hard to stay out of other companies' business. I don't want to be, you know, like, oh, I'm going to compare myself to them or them, whatever. But I always came in number 2 to Car Pro Reset. If we're talking about performance, which Apex is a 600-to-1 dilution ratio, like it is that concentrated, which is why it's that thin, because it doesn't tolerate thickeners. And we tried with version 2, we tried to add thickeners to it, and it constantly pushed out the thickeners. That's why there was always like this weird white sediment at the bottom of the bottles of Apex version 2, is because all the thickening agents that we were adding to it, it was like, nope, you have no place here, get out. And the more quality of a surfactant that you're using, the less tolerant it is of other things. Oh wait. Gallons of soap. I mean, think about that. You know, and then at the price point where you're $20 to $30 cheaper than the leader. And in Pan's own words is like, I'm just splitting hairs. It's like, I'm just splitting hairs, but I think Car Pro Reset does just a little better job. So if you're talking about a 30 a $20 to $30 difference in gallons, and we're just splitting hairs, and my soap dilutes 600 to 1, I don't really think there's a conversation there. I think that Apex is clearly a winner based upon those two criteria. Why would I spend $30 more for something that we're just splitting hairs about? So as far as soap is concerned, yeah, I would say that Apex is the most underrated because we're not talking about it. No, they're not talking about it in circles. Titan comes up all the time. Hydra comes up. I'm going to be trashed because of you in about 20 minutes. But I would say because Apex isn't being talked about, but we do a good job, and the collaboration that we did with Bio Bombs and the interior cleaner, being able to, we clean tennis shoes. I clean, my dog was sick at the end of last year, and we had to say goodbye to him. But during his sickness, he bled everywhere. I mean, on everything, upholstery, carpets, everywhere. He had mouth cancer, and Typhon. I mean, Typhon and a drill brush. Rich, I appreciate that. That's a great, thank you. I bought it not knowing anything about it, just because Pan kept bringing it in at number 2. Then I saw the price. I bought a gallon, tried it out, and I was like, damn, stuff is good. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate that. So anyway, I know I was talking about Typhon, but I don't know why. Anyway. Hey, does anybody want to, should we do a giveaway? I thought for sure Rich would be here by now to save my bacon. I've been rambling for an hour and 13 minutes. But I just kind of wanted to give everybody a heads up. And I tried Mint when I ran out of Apex. That was a mistake, going back to Apex. I don't even know what Mint is, but thank you, BTW. Appreciate that. It's great. It's no Incredible Suds, though. You know what, Keeve? I love you. I cannot wait. I cannot wait until the next Soar and Restore Pay It Forward campaign in Boardman, Ohio. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. So we should win something. What should we do? It should probably be for a bottle of the new Helios. I'm coming to visit before. Oh, there you go. I'm coming to visit before then, though. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's very exciting. Okay, so there's Phoenix and the Four Horsemen, and then there is Immortal and Kronos. That was the origin of that was the lineup of when we started 5 years ago. It was Phoenix and the Four Horsemen, and the Four Horsemen was Papa Smurf, Fab, Brian Spittler, Apex, and Phil Miranda Detailing. And then we released Immortal and Kronos Christmas of 2021. What was I'm going to be hammered in an hour. What was the eighth product in our lineup? What was the next product that came out after? Oh my God, Dark Dragon. Are you kidding me with this? Two episodes in a row, Dark Dragon. All right. Thank God I didn't send out your product already, because I now have to add Helios to your winnings. Now remember, just so you know, Dark Dragon, if you win 3 in a row, you get put in a timeout, just like Keith Firebird did 2 years ago. You can only win so much in a certain period of time. Kraken is underrated. I agree. Not only going back to versatility, Kraken, it makes for an insane degreaser. Something I learned from my chemist: the high pH all-purpose cleaners actually work very, very well as degreasers. So if you're looking for like door jams and wheel wells and engine compartments, Kraken exceeds in its cleaning ability in those areas, because the high pH makes for such a great degreaser. And then you have, again, Typhon, which is a lower pH. I think it's 10. I think it's 10. And that's why it works so well as an interior and doesn't leave the white residue behind. Like if you oversaturate a piece of upholstery or carpet or fabric or whatnot, you get that white residue. I'll wait. All right. Don't tell the Colonel, but it might not be apple juice, but lemonade is just as spicy as apple juice. All right, so you have caustics, and caustics is you can attack a problem of an alkaline. You can attack a problem using caustics, or you can attack a problem using surfactants. Caustics are usually extremely high pH, and they do a great job of powering through stuff, which is why I use Kraken as a pre-soak. I use the IK foamer, and I pump that boy up, and I use Kraken as a pre-soak. But I think I use it at like 5-to-1 as a pre-soak. But again, if you don't get it all up, if you don't clean it all up, it might leave a white residue behind, because that's what caustics do. They leave that white residue behind. Use a surfactant and you don't have that risk, which is why that's the biggest difference between Typhon and Kraken is one, the pH, and which is why I'm not counting that one, which is why Typhon is BTW. It's always bourbon. It's bourbon. Let's yeah. I mean, rookies do whiskey or scotch. Champions do bourbon. What category is Phoenix most excited to innovate next? So that's a loaded question. The first question, or the first answer is, come back. Come on. Walk in. There you go. All right. The first question is, the first product that we're going to come out with is going to be a spray sealant. We've teased it on Brian's channel, or Thor's channel, under the New Direction detail. I think we talked about it last time on Thor's channel. I think we're closest to launching Stratos, the spray sealant. And it's kind of a midway point between Titan and Immortal. It's that sweet spot where people aren't really sure how they want to. Do I want to go with a full ceramic coating? Do I want, just an SiO2? So I think Stratos is going to be the next product that comes out. But what I'm really focusing my energies on is a high pH and a low pH soap. I really want a high pH. I really want a high pH and low pH soap because Brian has always talked about having bookends for your ceramic coating line. So we have a panel prep, we have a paint correction with Papa Cut and Fab Polish, Peleus panel prep, and then we have the coatings themselves. And then of course we have the maintenance sprays, be it Titan or Immortal. But in order to have a complete ceramic lineup, Brian says that if you, I get, what is it? Lab Cosmetica. They have that 3H or the 3 pH detox system, and he said in order for you to have bookends on your ceramic line, you really need to have a high pH soap and a low pH soap so that you have not just all of the things leading up to a ceramic coatings, but now you have maintenance for the ceramic coating and the detoxing or the decontamination of a ceramic coating. High pH goes after mineral contaminants, the salts and heavy minerals and things of that nature. So you kind of need bookends to be able to complete the entire ceramic lineup. And if Labco is the only one that has the true game in town, then I want to go hunting after them. And so after the spray sealant Stratos, I think I want to go after the high pH and the low pH. And I've been working on that for over a year now, and I haven't been happy with the results. I haven't been happy with the foam stability. There's a lot of different factors that go into it. And even if it does work, again, going back to your original question of, performance versus ease of use versus versatility, my standards are, I want my soaps to be, to have the foam stability, to linger on the paint, high lubricity, and an extreme cleaning power. And until I get all of those things combined, connected, I'm not going to launch it, which is why it's taken me over a year to perfect these soaps. Holler if you need any more help, sir. Hey, we talked about you already, man. I can't believe that you came out, you drove 2 hours, and then we put you to work. It was awesome. Everybody, that's Bobby. He came out to help us. If you missed the first half of the show, he came out to help us earlier this week. And it was so awesome. It was really, 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 really awesome to have him come out. I love you guys. Oh, hey, here's another thing. Stephanie Devine from Divine Detailing. She is like 15 minutes away from the warehouse, and she's going to come up and she's going to be mentoring my nephew because he wants to be a detailer. And then I don't know if you guys saw this or read this when I was on Thor's show, but let me see if I can find it real fast. Yeah, here it is, Ryan. Ready for this? Like this is the community. This is what this community is all about. Hey, Aaron, when I come out to do that local pickup, I'd love to pitch a quick idea to help out with the new facility. I'm still relatively young in my detailing journey, started out using Thor products and will continue as Jamie the Cleaner and Eddie are salt of the earth guys. But I absolutely love the Phoenix. Since moving is a logistical nightmare, I'd love to volunteer my time to help you host a local demo day once you're up and running. Down the road, I'd even love to offer to run training classes at the shop to do mobile demos for you, just to help build the local grassroots community in Ohio. Think of it as my way of pitching in and giving back and paying it forward for all you and the community have given to me. Looking forward to stopping by and shaking your hand and grabbing that first order, Ryan. Like, that is one of the most humbling DMs that I could have received. I mean, here's a guy that just like he just wants to show up and support the group and pay it forward. And it's it's validating to everything that we've been building for the last 5 years. You know what I mean? Like it's validating guys like Bobby showing up to the warehouse and guys like Ryan showing up to the warehouse. And and Bobby was, willing to do all of those things as well. He's, he wanted to mentor my nephew as well. Like this, what this community has done. Like none of us are in this alone. And it is absolutely it's incredible. It's incredible. And yes, absolutely. Everything and anything that Thor does, I'm going to be in Chicago for. So for Thor's birthday, I'm already on the list. And I am driving. I don't. If I can avoid flying, I will. I absolutely hate the TSA. I think that it's a violation of our Fourth Amendment, and I am a staunch believer in the Constitution, and so everything and anything that violates my God-given rights, I am 100% opposed to. So to answer your question, yes, I will be driving. If you're within driving distance, I'm going to drive. Um, and Chicago is only like 7 hours away from me. When I was in New Jersey and I was working for that comic book company, and we had the Comic Cons in Chicago. I was the guy driving the van 11 hours to Chicago because I'm not getting on the plane. Someone say road trip? Absolutely. Let me just tell you, I love a road trip. It's my favorite thing. Um, I mean, I love a road trip. I hate sitting in traffic, but I love. Oh wait, my first brand new truck that I bought in 2002. I bought it in October of 2001, but it was a 2002 Dodge Dakota. I put 266,000 miles on that truck, and I bought it. It only had 12 miles on it, and that was for just the test run to make sure that it worked properly. 266,000 miles on it. I have been to every state except for Alaska. And that's on my bucket list. And I'm planning on driving to Alaska. I want Phoenix to do well enough that I can take a month off. And my treat to my parents, because my mom does not like heights at all. I want to rent an RV and I want to take a month off and I want to drive an RV to Alaska with my mom and my dad and anybody else. Well, then don't ever go to Idaho. Chicago gal, do not ever go to Idaho because it is nothing but a mountain. Are you going to do future live streams with Smurf? I missed those marathon live streams. Maybe. And Smurf has to get back into my good graces because, oh, wait a second. BRBA. AFK. Am I going to do another show? with Papa Smurf. It's a show. Of course, I'll do it. Smurf is one of my best friends. I would love to do another song. We were actually going to try to do a birthday bash today to beat last year's. I don't know if you guys remember last year's, but last year's was a 7-hour show. It was a 7-hour show. It was actually, for me, it was a 9-hour show because I get on, I sit down in this chair an hour before the show starts to do show prep. And then those guys kept talking an hour after we ended the show. It's like, I was like, dude, I've been sitting here for 9 hours. I got to go. I got to go use the bathroom. I got to get something to eat. I'm dying. Not yeah, yes, the shirt. Yes, the shirt. And you know, the best part about it is Papa Smurf had these made. Like he leaned into the joke so hard that he had the shirts made and then brought them to the Southern Detailers Conference. So what was I talking about? I've had too many pauses, so I don't remember what we were talking about. But yeah, Smurf. Oh, it was 9 hours. So they continued after we ended the show. They talked for another hour, and so it was a 9-hour show for me. And I was like, I got to go. But I wanted to beat the episode this year. There's so much going. Moving from New Jersey to Ohio, I was, you know, and then the 4th of July sale. It was just absolutely. I mean, I am butter that has been spread over too much bread at this point. Phenomenal job on it. Anyone wondering, it's A++. I need to pick up some of the new Cronus graphene to try next. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you. And yeah, well, again, that was the whole reason why I made the decision to come back sooner than later. And I got to be honest with you, it's been absolutely epic being able to work with my dad and my nephews. Honestly, I think that we found the heir to the empire in my nephew. He's about to become a freshman. You need to do an Australia Day sale. I think it's in January. All right. Well, I will reach out to Ahmed and we'll coordinate. He has got 2 cargo ship containers worth of stuff coming to Australia. So in less than a month, there's going to be nothing but Phoenix in Australia. We're going to dominate the land down under. But anyway, what were we saying? What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the whole idea about coming back to this area in Ohio was accelerated because of potential health problems. Now, my dad is doing great. He's got a clean bill of health now, and like I said, the triple bypass went extremely well back last year. And we've been trying to do fishing trips at least every other year for the last, I don't know, 7 years. We've been doing trips. We've done West Virginia, we've done Wyoming, we've done Montana, we've done Idaho, we've done North Carolina. I mean, like, these are destination trips that he and I have gone on. So yeah, I 100% agree. And the fact that he wanted to come on board as the vice president, senior vice president of operations, and then, like I said, I've hired my nephew, who is he's a 14-year-old going to be 15, being a freshman, and his mind is the way that he figures out puzzles and solving, and unbelievably impressed by this young man that if he wants it. I think he said that his plan right now is to join the Marine Corps, but if he wants it, he's going to be the next. he's going to be the one to inherit this kingdom for sure. Mad River Outfitters in Ohio. I'm gonna have. All right, let me check this out. Mad River Out. We go through Yellow Dog. Yellow Dog is our outfitter group that we go through, and they do they do operations throughout the world, Peru and Argentina and all of that stuff. And I think we're planning on a trip to Ireland, I think, as well. But good to know. Mad River Outfitters in Ohio. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, so so it went down like this. June 12th, I think we launched the first half of the warehouse. That was all the racks and all of the heavy equipment and tables and all the heavy equipment that got shipped to Ohio. And then the following week after that, we did massive downfillings. We all of the product that we have, we broke down into gallons and pints and quarts. And then the following week after that, we put everything else on the shelf. And June 22nd, we shipped the entire warehouse to Ohio. And then June 29th is when I arrived in Ohio, and we've been kind of breaking down the warehouse ever since then. We ran the big sale was the 3rd through the 5th, and that was a smashing success because of you guys. And then I would say as of yesterday, we finally broke down all of the pallets, got everything operational, and we're back up to speed exactly as we were back in New Jersey. So as of Monday, like I said, Monday, every order that has been placed should have shipped or will have shipped, and operations as normal. And then hopefully we start getting the Thor Amazon stuff to make their lives a lot easier. I'll wait. That's a good question. I don't really know. It says the biggest misconception detailers have about your product lineup. I was told that consumers base performance on price. So unless you are super expensive, you're considered trash. Like if I were to sell Kronos at like $50 for a 50 milliliter bottle, automatically I would be considered a trash product, even if Kronos is the best ceramic coating out there on the board. That unless you price it accordingly to the market, it's trash. And I have consistently tried to be cheaper than everybody else because I want to be accessible to everybody, from the guy just starting out to the Brian Spittlers of the universe. And I've fought very, very hard to do that. It's when you get into like distributors is when that pricing structure doesn't work anymore. When somebody like Thor is more popular than your own company, meaning I would rather shop with Thor because I can do one-stop shopping with Thor. I can get towels, I can get shop supplies, I can get everything that I need from Thor. So I would rather just go to Thor instead of going to Phoenix E.O.D for this and Thor for that, and you know, a power washer or a foam cannon company, like that detail guy, the detail supply, for a foam cannon. I'd rather just go to Thor and get everything that I need through Thor, which is fine, which is great. And again, you guys, if you listened to earlier in this program, you guys know that I am forever grateful for Thor, at least in 2024. So because of those relationships, I've had to increase my prices. For example, Apex soap. Apex soap is probably my most expensive product to make, and my margins on Apex soap are very, very minimal. Because of the quality of the ingredients, the surfactants that I use is, I think it's close to like $400 a gallon. The surfactant that I use, $400 a gallon, and I'm making 55-gallon drums at a time. So it's expensive. To make Apex soap, it's expensive. And if I'll make a couple of bucks. I mean, ultimately, that's why you do go into business. You don't go into business just to change over money. I'm going to spend $20, and I'm going to make $20. Selling it to my. You want to make $25. I'm making $5 a gallon or something. I'm just speaking in very broad strokes, generic broad strokes. But when I sell to a competitor, or not a competitor, but like a distributor, they expect to have certain margins. I need to be able to make 50%. So like if I buy this product from you for $10, I need to be able to sell it for $20. Which now means that I'm either not making any money at all selling to a distributor, or I'm losing money selling to a distributor. So what I have to do is now I have to increase my prices. I now have to go, all right, well, Apex soap used to be $50 a gallon, but now it's $70 a gallon. So that when I sell it to a distributor, I'm still making $1 a gallon or $2 a gallon and not losing money, because they need certain price points in order for them to be profitable, right? So the biggest misconception that detailers have about my product lineup is it as good as it's supposed to be? Because I'm trying to be as cheap as I can without having cheap products. I don't know if does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's a struggle that I've had for the last 5 years, and that's something that Christian has really helped me with. What frequency is Scented Apex going to be dropping? Yeah, again, I do a Black Friday sale and I do a 4th of July sale, and I'm hoping to keep to those. I'm trying to keep to that schedule, like 2 limited edition scents a year. It was supposed to be out on the 4th, and it didn't happen. I'm working on it. Sorry. I'm just a man. I only do so much. Anyway, so what do you think? I mean, we've been going here for an hour and 45 minutes. We got, it looks like 25 people still watching, which is, I'm extremely grateful. It's the 5th year anniversary. And again, I'm open to every and all questions. I try to be as transparent as possible. I'm not usually, I don't think I'm savvy enough to be sneaky. So, and obviously I've been imbibing. So if you're going to ask a question, now's the time to ask it. Happy 5th year anniversary, Phoenix. You've swallowed my soul, but you've returned this community to me. 5 hours for 5 years. All right. BTW, challenge accepted. I'm telling you right now, I can go forever. You want to talk about pop culture? You want to talk about music? You want to talk about anything? We can talk about anything. As a matter of fact, I can drop the link of the StreamYard in the. Let's see if I can do that. Copy. You want to come on the show? There's the link. There's the link to come on the show. Feel free to jump in. Everybody and anybody, feel free to jump in. It's our 5th anniversary. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hit the like button. That we have been doing this far longer than I have. What's a good movie? All right. I love you for saying that question. All right. I just had this conversation with Lachlan, BRB AFK. All right, so I just went back to New Jersey on Thursday to pick up some of my stuff, and the new Odyssey movie. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm going to avoid that one like the plague. I went back to New Jersey to pick up some of my stuff, and I grabbed a few of my favorite movies that I want to watch over and over and over and over again until I go back to New Jersey to get the rest of my stuff. So, where do we start? Let's start with the most controversial. First movie that I picked up, Tropic Thunder, the director's cut. I love this movie. They'll never be able to make this movie ever again. But I will watch this movie every single time that it is on, hands down, no matter what. I love this movie. I love it. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? All right. Then. Oh, hey, look at this. Look at this. Look at this SOB. What? What? Where did you come from?
What's up?
Fix me up.
I made it. Late. Better late than ever, right?
My Lord in heaven. Look at you. Look at you. Sure not getting any prettier, I'll tell you that. But
Yeah,
whatever.
well, you looked in the mirror.
All right, second movie. Ready? Here we go. What About Bob? This movie is absolutely phenomenal. It is probably my favorite comedy of all time. It's absolutely fantastic. If you ever want to talk at length about this movie, we could go back and forth on whether or not, like who is actually the villain or the antagonist in this movie? Could it be Bob? Absolutely. Could it be Richard Dreyfuss? Absolutely. Let's talk about this movie all day, every day. I love this movie. Next one.
I got a question.
What?
This is Phoenix 5th anniversary. How are we on movies?
Because you haven't been here for the last hour and 49 minutes, friend. We've talked all about Phoenix in the 5th anniversary. We talked about the journey. We talked about we have covered every ounce of Phoenix history. I need you to do me a favor and just back it up and ride the bus. Okay? All right.
Okay.
I'm into my second drink already, and you, sir, need to catch up for the last hour and 49 minutes. All right.
Carry on, Grasshopper.
I did everything that you would want in a podcast for the first hour and 49 minutes. We talked about Phoenix. We talked about products. We talked about other people's products. We talked about everything. And now you're coming in on the tail end, and we decided to switch to pop culture. Too bad for you. Cheers.
Oh, well. That's what I get for being late.
That's what you get for being late. I don't know if you guys know this, but all right. Favorite line from a Batman movie. Mine is never rub another man's rhubarb. I would say for me, it's probably security Alfred. Really? I turn around one day and it's like, oh, hi, Vic. I enjoyed Michael Keaton's Batman a lot. I really, really did. I think that his Bruce Wayne persona is better than anybody else's Bruce Wayne persona. I know that I'm going to take a lot of heat for this, but I got to be honest. I think my favorite Batman is the most recent incarnation, which is the Robert Peterson's, which I never thought I would say because I was against it. I thought it was absolutely just, I couldn't believe the casting on that. But then all right, bye, Rick. But then when you understand the movie itself, the movie is Batman Year Two. And they really drive hard at Batman Year Two. And Batman Year Two, based on the comics, he was still very, very bitter. He was still very angry. He was all of those things. And if you listen to the end of the movie after the big climactic scene where they're getting everybody else out of the auditorium and the arena, where he talks about how he needs to have an alternative to Batman. Batman can't be just a pure dark vengeance. There has to be a balance. There has to be oh my holy sweet Jesus. What? Eileen.
Hey, beautiful.
Where have you been, you beautiful bitch? Where have you been? Oh my Lord.
It's so good to see your face.
I have missed you. I have missed you. I have missed you.
I missed you too.
No, you haven't. I have listened
a little bit, yeah.
I have kept my finger on your pulse from everybody and anybody that's talked to you, just to make sure that you're okay. Like I talked to Christian. I know Rick Smith reaches out to you on a regular basis and all of that stuff. And I watch you on your on your social media, and I don't know. I just gave you space or whatever it was, but wow, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you. Happy anniversary.
Thank you for
Congrats.
being such a special part. For being such a special part of the Phoenix journey.
Of course.
How are you?
Good. Not dying in this heat.
I bet you are.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I don't even know what to say. You froze my brain.
I was gonna jump on earlier, but then you started bringing out the movies, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna let him do his movie spiel before I jump on."
For the record, we didn't move into the movies until 1 hour and 50 minutes. For the first hour and 40 some minutes, it was nothing but detailing and product related nonsense.
I know. It was great. I was watching.
Oh, thank you. I can't have Erin. She's on our show now. Can't have Erin. She's on our show now. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds like.
Well, I can't. I'm on the browser. I'm not on the app. So I can't see the comments.
Oh. All right. So, what's going on? What have you been up to for the last? How long has it been since you've been on the Curmudgeons? On the corner. Excuse me. It's got to be. It's like a year, right?
I think. Yeah. I think I don't think my last show was your anniversary. I think it was a little after that.
I think Jelena was the last show.
Yeah.
I don't know what episode that was.
I don't know, but it was probably like a year. Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been up to? How's things? How's business? How things going?
It's going all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Just doing the things. Wishing it wasn't summer. I'm like trying to press the fast forward button because I'm over it already and it just started.
Just for the record, you represent like a fifth of the country because everybody else is like, thank God it's summer because the winter months kill us. Like,
yeah, I know.
All the way up through, Arizona, New Mexico, and California are probably like, summer sucks. But, for us north.
I know you have that thawing out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we got to make as much money as possible because we're about to hit doomsday in November.
No. But yeah,
Ah,
just doing things, cleaning cars, paying bills,
yeah,
living a dream.
it's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Where have you been? Where have you been, you crazy chick?
Yeah, Rick sent me some of that Helios.
What do
Pretty
you
good,
think?
huh?
You
Yeah,
like it?
pretty good. I like it.
Jaylena, who maybe isn't as hot as a desert in California, but is pretty hot in Southern California. She thinks it's God's gift to man.
Man, I don't know. It does. It's not Peleus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peleus is just that's what I pull out. I mean, it's great. It's good. It's a great glass cleaner, but when it comes to like nothing beats Peleus. I think I couldn't do a detail without having Peleus on my truck somewhere.
It was probably like between Peleus and Hydra, that was the number one reason why it took me so long to come out with a dedicated glass cleaner.
Yeah,
It was just like, why?
too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I enjoy it. It's good, nice, great, especially in the sun. I mean, I'm dealing with that all the time. Great.
So, all right, so let me ask you this question, and it bounces off of Lizards Detailing says SoCal is still hot. It felt like 90s today. So I lived in Irvine from 85 to 89.
Yeah.
And I remember it being hot, but the joke, especially out here on the East Coast, it was like, well, at least it's dry heat. I remember it being hot, but it was never oppressive because it was a dry heat. Like it was, it would be in the high 80s and 90s, but because of that zero humidity where you're just basically evaporated off of your skin, I never remembered it being oppressive. Whereas here on the East Coast, when it's hot and humid,
oh, that's worse.
It's like breathing through a wet sweater, and you
Yeah,
just
it's rough.
entered the studio. Oh, occasional detail. What's up, dog? What's up, dog?
What's going on?
So yeah, so I guess my question to you is like, as hot as it gets for you, how oppressive does it become?
I mean, I feel really oppressed every day. It's like, I mean, it's like 108, 110 up here, and it's just like,
damn.
But I don't know. I can't say I don't want to compare it to like someone in deep in Florida that has to deal with 90 something and humidity. I don't know how it is to detail in that environment, but I know it feels like shit in 108 degrees.
Yeah. We just had a heat wave in New Jersey. It was I think it was like 105 in the warehouse.
Yeah.
And it's just you're just dying. It's brutal and it's bacon. And then last week in the Ohio warehouse, it was the same way. We had that heat wave last week where it was just and the warehouse isn't climate controlled. I mean, it's got heat, but it doesn't have air. So in the wintertime, it's fine, but in the summertime, you just hey, guess what? It's 110. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Now my schedule is like from from like 11ish or noon, definitely from noon to like 4. You won't see me outside. I'm inside. No one. Okay. I'm not doing it. I did it the first 2 years, and I learned my lesson. I was like on the border of heat stroke like every day, and I was like, there's not enough water to keep me afloat during that time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the 2-hour mark. We're almost exactly. Yeah, we are exactly at 2 hours. So we should get something else away.
To go, then.
I have an idea. Let me see how good of an idea the idea is. Talk amongst yourselves.
Finally adding some color to the show.
What's that supposed to mean?
We got, or we've outnumbered the caucasity for once.
Went to Louisiana, my forearms were sweating. Oh my god.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Louisiana's hot. Steamy. Aaron, how'd the move go?
What?
How did the move go?
Brutally painful.
But you're all settled in now?
Yep.
And then are you going to be, how often are you going to be jumping back and forth? Because I know you said you kept both warehouses.
I did not.
Oh, you did not? Okay.
I did
so
not
you fully moved. I thought you were keeping Jersey as well.
No, that's all changed. I thought that I was, but that's all changed.
Okay.
I am 100% relocated to northwestern PA and Ohio.
Well, the place looks great, dude. It looks huge. Looks like you got a lot of room there to do stuff and host people, like you mentioned before.
The rest of the show.
I know you like to host.
What's that?
Said it looks great that you have a bunch of space now and gives you a lot of space to host.
Oh, dude, I'm so the warehouse twice the size for half the price. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah, dude, that's that's kind of a no-brainer.
Dark Dragon, both of those are trash. If you want to go to Philadelphia and you want the absolute best cheesesteak you'll ever eat in your entire life, you're going to go to Angelo's. You want to go to Angelo's. They don't accept anything but cash, and they don't. You can't call ahead. So just plan on standing in line and getting your stuff. They have, I think as far as pizza is concerned, David Portnoy ranked like a 9.3, one of the highest. I think it's like the third highest rated pizzas in the nation, and their cheesesteak is a close second. But like David Najim just said, John's roast pork is probably my favorite because it's just way more accessible and it's easier to get to. John's roast pork, by hands down, is one of my favorite cheesesteaks in all of Philadelphia. But if you're going to go to the absolute top of the pyramid, you want to go to Angelo's for both pizza and cheesesteak. All right. So what was the question that you were asking, Israel, was about was it about the warehouse?
Yeah, no, just in general, how everything's been going. I know we haven't chatted in quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, so, I saw that I missed one of your phone calls, and I do apologize.
No,
it's been crazy. The move was a lot more
that much easier on this side either.
The move was a lot more stressful than I thought that it would be. For personal reasons, not for business reasons. The business move was pretty straightforward. And my father, I saw earlier today when he brought me my apple juice, he was on this end and I was on the New Jersey end. And my father, his background was, he was an XO of a fighter squadron. So, I mean, he was in charge of, 500 Marines. And then when he retired from the Marine Corps, he started his own business, which is construction management. So logistics is kind of his thing. So it was really, really easy for me to do all the operations out of New Jersey and him to do all the operations out of northwestern PA, Ohio, and coordinate between the two and get all of those things done. So from a business point of view, it was very straightforward and very easy, and we did what we had to do. And it was mission forward. Like we had the mission, we had the timeline of what milestones need to be hit by each and every one of these dates. On a personal level, things completely fell off the wagon. The wheels fell off the wagon, and it didn't go down the way that I thought it was going to go down. And that's why all of the operations have moved to Ohio as opposed to doing both from both states. The original plan was to do e-commerce from New Jersey and do operations, manufacturing, and 3PL from Ohio. Now the entire operation has moved to Ohio, and it is what it is. Completed an interior detail today on a 2020 Yukon Denali today that belongs to a family of 7 and has not been cleaned in several years. With this New England, Florida weather, it was a 4-hour, 3 t-shirt day. Oh, Don Delp, I am so sorry to hear that. That's rough.
One thing that I did recently while I was building out like my spot was like before we had AC sort of in there, every day was like obviously like a brutal mission. And so what I ended up doing is like I don't know, I just thought of it just randomly and I was like, I'm already sweating, so I'm already wet. So I'm like, what if I just like take my entire shirt and just put it into the sink and just put like cold water on it and put it back on? And that helped out so much. It's like if you're gonna be sweating out there anyway, might as well just like literally just drench what you're wearing and just toss it on. And same thing like with like if I was wearing a hat or whatever, I would just toss it in the water, put it back on, or just constantly just wash like my face, my hair out or whatever just to cool down a bit. But then like washing down a shirt definitely helped out quite a bit in the heat.
So let's talk about that for a second. So when you came up here for the Soar and Restore in March, which is really only 3-4 months ago, you were going through a transition, and you were going from one job into what you are currently doing with your warehouse. How's the warehouse forming up, and how's the business forming up, and let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, sure. Just like with everything, I think like unexpected. I think even going into it, there was already some maybe you want to call them red flags or something like that to kind of show that things weren't really going according to plan and everything like that. But for me, I'm like a very like you can say persistent. I would say the reality is stubborn. And so for me, I'm a kind of like all gas, no brakes type of person when it comes to deciding on something and then kind of moving forward with it. And so, moved forward on a lot of things and invested significantly more than I thought I was going to into this because it was a partnership. And so it wasn't going to be just me alone. I was going to be a smaller part of this partnership. And the idea is, okay, it gives me a space where I have significantly more space to do stuff. And the idea is to leverage that space to use it as a space to make content, but then also obviously provide services and stuff like that on like a minimal level. And then the majority partner would be doing most of their business actually out of that location. They already had a location elsewhere. And so this was going to be a secondary location in more of like, let's say a prime real estate location, if you want to call it that, relative to where they were at. And so that was kind of the idea. And, things happened in their personal life. And so funding kind of changed quite a bit from what was originally the plan versus what ended up happening.
What happens when they start to thaw in public?
And so, that's thrown a bit of a wrench in things. Then also there was other stuff like in my personal life that ended up happening. So it was just kind of like this in the same way that you kind of mentioned it, right? Just there was a plan. And then things on, for me, partially on the business side, but then also on the personal side started to sort of happen and derail. But what I would say is like now, in terms of the location itself, the location is probably like 90% ready to go. I was just there an hour or so ago. I was sick for 2 weeks, so that's part of what was kind of like delaying things as well. I just wasn't able to go in there and finish up some things. But the space is more or less ready. And then sort of the next step for us is, at least for me, my intent is for that location to do a lot of like business to business stuff. So reaching out to different dealers, as well as like, for instance, like my partner has a lot of experience or relationships with not only dealerships in the Coral Gables area, but also like body shops because of the place he used to work at with his uncle. And so he has a really great reputation in that area. And the whole point was moving closer to there was to be able to leverage that and be able to service those people again that he's currently missing out on because his existing location is too far from them. And so it's to reacquire those customers that he's lost and for the ones that have actually stuck around with him and make the really far drive anyway, to
Right.
just offer them a better destination. And so the plan is kind of like next week is going to be to finalize a couple of things on the location itself, and then go back in and then, you know, let everybody know that we're back on the block. And so primarily it's intended to start off as a B2B sort of thing. Not that we don't intend to have like retail customers and stuff like that. But for me, in terms of what I think about when it comes to like scaling the business, because for me, my background isn't in like this blue collar space of professional detailing. For me, I've been in operations and data for several years. And I'm getting into this just because I don't think the corporate world is for me anymore. But I'm leveraging my partner who has those existing relationships and who can do the work, and filling in the gaps where necessary, and to help him on sort of like the back end sort of stuff. But then also I'll physically be doing the labor as well. But for instance, because it's primarily going to be a paint protection film studio, I'm not going to be doing a lot of that sticking and stuff like that, but I'll be doing a lot of the prep work. If there's going to be coating jobs that need to get done, that's some of the stuff that I'll be doing as well. Any paint corrections, things of that nature. That's stuff that I'm more adept at. Whereas for him, he's been doing film for 20 years, but he's never touched a polisher in his life. And so there is like a symbiotic sort of relationship that would happen there. And so that's kind of like the idea and how we got to where we're at. And so, yeah, my whole thing is I want to leverage and take advantage of all of the existing B2B contacts he already had that he worked with previously, and have that generate revenue immediately for us. And eventually start to trickle in some, I guess, retail customers, if you want to refer to them as that, little by little as well. But
Gotcha.
I don't want to be in a spot ever, right, where it's like I'm struggling to have my calendar booked. And so that's the reason why the focus is going to be on B2B at the start.
Thanks, Pure Motion Detailing. Appreciate that. And Chingy Blingy, we are aware that you haven't tuned in since
Love you,
Eileen left.
Chingy.
We are aware. Where did my camera go? Hello, come back. Thank you. My camera just decided to go AWOL. Yeah, we are aware, Chingy, that you haven't watched since Eileen left the show. All right, let's go back to giving away something. Eileen, what would you like to give away?
You got some Peleus laying around?
I got plenty of Peleus laying around.
Let's do some Peleus.
All right, so for a pint of Peleus, can someone tell me which was the first episode that Eileen co-hosted Curmudgeon's Corner on? What was the first episode that Eileen co-hosted?
You mean like the number?
Yeah, what number? Curmudgeon's
I don't
was
even know if I know that.
it?
Can I say it?
I know it. Nope.
Sorry, Alvin. I should have said Chronos Graphene.
Nope.
No, it's up there, guys.
Nope. Episode
I think
3.
Chris was the closest.
67. Nope.
Mary? It wasn't Mary?
Nope. I know exactly what number it was. 102. We haven't even reached
What?
90. What are you talking about? 420.
Well, it's good one of us actually know what the number is.
I could guess.
All right, guess. Go ahead and guess. You can win it. You
And
can
I
win a
feel like-
bottle of Peleus.
Imagine. I feel like Mary was pretty close. Was it like 33?
Nope.
34?
Nope.
No?
No.
Shit. I think that I don't know.
All right, it's fine. You guys keep. If Keith Firebird was still in the house, he would have gotten it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Nope.
Give us a guess.
No, I'm giving away a bottle, and probably
Is it
it's going to go to
is it-
Canada, so it's going to cost me $90 to send a bottle of Peleus. I'm not giving hints. You get it or you don't
Is it
get it.
between 30 and 35 or
It is
40?
not. Nope.
42.
Nope. I'm waiting.
Sure.
I'm positive. I looked it up. Like a half an hour ago.
We're gonna spend a full 5 hours just waiting for this number.
Girl,
I think it's
you've been
Tuesday.
with me for a You've been with me for a time.
22.
Sorry. Nope.
Dang.
Wow, I can't believe so many people are like they're throwing the dartboard and they're just throwing it all around. 69.
Aaron, how about you give me the first number?
I think we're only up to like episode 70 something.
Aaron, are you sure nobody said it already?
I'm positive. And I'm positive. I know what the number is. Somebody got really, really close to it. Like they hit two numbers away from it, but they haven't hit the number. All right.
45.
Nope. Chelsea just became closest. Chelsea just got the closest.
37. Okay, guys. 37 is the target.
Is not the target. Chelsea did not say number 37. She said something different.
She did say 37. Oh,
Well,
let's
she
go.
also-
Oh,
she also-
26.
Did Lizard get it?
Nope.
26 is the target, guys. Let's get closer to 26. It's not 26, Chris. 27? No.
Nope. Nope.
29? Oh, 24?
Nope. Wait, 24. Dark. You can't win twice in a row, Dark Dragon. You can't.
Oh, so someone say that one.
You can't win twice in a row. Sorry, you're disqualified.
Why
Chelsea
not?
say 20. Chelsea say 24.
Chelsea said 24.
No, I'm telling her to say it.
Oh. All right, Lizard got it.
There you
Lizard
go,
got
there you
24.
No. I think somebody got it. before
Enthusiast.
him.
Enthusiast got it.
Enthusiast got it.
Yeah, got it. All right, enthusiast. Send me an email at Aaron@Phoenix E.O.D for a bottle of Peleus. Enthusiast. So think about that, Eileen.
24.
Number 24 out of like 78.
Jeez.
Seriously, sister, you've been riding with me for a long time.
I swore it was like 30 something.
No, I looked it up. I went back to YouTube lives, and in episode 23, you were my guest, and then in episode 24, I invited you to be the co-host.
Because who was right before me?
It was Adrian from I Am
That's
Detailed
right.
AF.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we started. What was it? 2 years ago, we started with Eddie. Was the first guest of the year, followed by Adrian. Then you were the guest in episode 23. When that debuted February 24th, 2024. And then in March of 24, you became my co-host. And that was episode 24.
Where did Rick Smith go?
Yeah, where is he?
I reached out to him and he said,
Because he was here a couple minutes ago.
he said,
I came on and he left.
Yeah.
My laptop is really lagging and my wife says it sucks. I can't get my phone to work. I'm having some serious technical issues.
Rick.
He just wanted to go eat a sandwich.
That's exactly what it was.
Rick Smith.
It's like the best phrase.
Right? He's the best.
Aaron, are you going to be going to SEMA this year?
I don't want to go to SEMA. If I have to go to SEMA, I'll go to SEMA. I'd rather do MTE 1,000 times over. I loved MTE. Like just being able to have MTE is so much more intimate than SEMA. SEMA is. I'll wait.
No, you're back.
SEMA is so big that everybody is just they're just hitting and going and hitting and going and hitting and going. Whereas in MTE, you can actually sit and have a conversation with somebody. You can, it's just more personable. And as far as like exchanging of information, like, hey, here, we've had, I think 4 or 5 people that I've met down at MTE on Curmudgeon's Corner. I've had anybody that I've on the corner. So for me, again, this is just me speaking. Phoenix is a platform to hang out with you guys, and you know, the products and all that other stuff is secondary to the connections and the relationships that I've been able to form because of Phoenix. And for that very reason, that's why MTE holds so much more gravity with me than SEMA, because SEMA, I just feel, is just, you know, hey, good to see you. Oh, it's good to see you. Hey, it's good to see you. Hey, it's good to see you. Hey, it's good to see you. Whereas MTE, it's like, hey, like, finally get to meet you and hang out with you and talk to you. And then we can go get, you know, there's more opportunities to break bread and have a meal. And personally, for me, I don't think that you can become friends with somebody until you've broken bread with somebody, except for Eileen, which we got to hang out and hang out. And she, you know, decided to, you know, blow me off for Ivan. But anyway, so, but I think that it is a true confession of friendship is when you sit down at a table and you break bread with somebody and raise a glass and share in that fellowship. Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate that. I have to run, but you guys have a blessed night. Amen. I thank you. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for watching the show, and thank you for celebrating year 5 with us. It has been a marathon. So am I going to go to SEMA? If you're asking me today, I'm going to say I doubt it.
Yeah.
I've been to, I think, between the old company that I used to work for and Phoenix, I think I've been to 9 SEMAs. SEMA is more of a, you know, a D-swinging thing. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm at SEMA. I'm one of the upper echelon people that can afford a booth and can do SEMA and be a part of SEMA and take pictures at SEMA. Whereas I think MTE is much more connection oriented, community oriented, approachable. It's, you know, because the venue is just smaller. When you're trying to fit, especially for the DIY person who can only get on the floor on Friday. One day you're allowed to be on the floor and you have to hit 4 different halls. You're trying to get it all in, and there's no way that you can get it all in by spending any time with any particular individual. Whereas MTE, you can be there the entire week and talk to as many people as you want for as long as you want. And I just think it's a more enjoyable experience. In my humble opinion, there's no real reason to go to SEMA. I don't think there's really an ROI on SEMA, but I think there's definitely an ROI on MTE. I mean, that's just my opinion.
All right, guys, I gotta run.
What?
Take it easy. Have a great night.
Where else do you have to be?
I have to get my truck ready for tomorrow.
All right, my love. Eileen?
Love you.
I love you more. Miss you.
Miss you too.
I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad that you are
Yes, sir.
thriving and not just surviving out in
Trying
the
to,
desert
yeah,
of California.
for sure. All right, guys, have a great night.
Likewise.
See you, baby.
Bye.
All right,
It
Birdman.
was it was so good to see her. Oh my Lord. It's been like a year since she's been on the corner.
Yeah, time kind of flies, because I think I don't know if it was the first or the second time that I went up to visit you in Jersey, that we talked about that, and you had mentioned that she had been riding with you for a very long time on the corner.
Oh, I'm being told that the show is over now that she's gone. I had no idea that she was the cornerstone of the corner. But it's probably, you know, we're doing 2.5 hours. We gave away a Helios and a Peleus, and we're celebrating the 5 years. It's been an adventure. I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you that have been a part of this journey. I can honestly say that I don't think that I could have continued this journey without this community being so amazing. How did I connect with Eileen? I'm pretty sure she had just gotten into the game out in so she was originally an East Coaster, and then she went out to California and was doing her trade out in California. And I want to say Hawaii Tim told her to call me because of my product line, and I'm pretty. I could be wrong. It could be Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf might have directed her. Adrian might have directed her. Hawaii Tim might have directed her. But one of those three guys told her to reach out to me, and she reached out to me. And then I was talking to Titan Tim from South Carolina, from Shiny Light Detailing. I was talking to Titan Tim, which I think he might be getting married this weekend. I think he might be married today.
That's awesome.
I think he might have gotten married today. I could be. Today's Saturday, right?
I believe it is Saturday.
Saturday.
I haven't been really checking the days.
The 11th?
Yeah, it's the 11th, Saturday.
He might be married. He might have gotten married today. Wow. If that's the case, congratulations, Tim. Congratulations on ruining your life. I mean, getting married. So anyway, one of I'll wait. Yeah, Humberto confirms he got married today.
Yeah, Humberto, you know it's true. He knows everything.
Right? Humberto has his finger on the pulse of everything in this community. He's awesome. So, I forget where I was going with this. I know it had to do with Eileen, but I forget the connection between Eileen and Hawaii Titan Tim.
Yeah, I'm sure this has been answered before, but yeah. I'm just going to ask because I'm just curious, and okay. I'm sure people have asked like multiple times too, but I missed out earlier, so I'm just going to take advantage of having you here now and ask. So, this blue raspberry Apex, we had some. Yeah. We had a little bit of delays. What's that looking like now in terms of like a window?
Yeah, so we definitely talked about this earlier in this episode, this podcast. It's an emulsifier issue. We're having the scent and the dye are having a problem coming together. Yeah. And I'm not really quite sure where those pieces hit, but because we had the huge move, the week before the move, I was making the Apex with the scent, and it completely was a disaster. And then it was one of those things where it just kind of had to I can't do it. Like I wanted it to be by the 4th of July. Like I wanted to do a fifth birthday, 4th of July.
Like a small like 50 run batch like before?
Well, I was doing 1 gallon. I can't test. I can't test by
you don't want to do like a 55 gallon drum, right? That's
until the formula works.
You ruin 55 gallons of Apex. That's crazy.
Yeah, I would shoot honestly, you just put a bullet to my head. I just wasted 55 gallons of soap.
Yeah.
And it's so expensive to make to begin with that so you make it in 1 gallon batches. Okay. And the 1 gallon batch that I had, it broke. And it just had these big blue clumps of goo at the top.
But so what is that looking like in terms of a resolution? Is that something where it's like, you mentioned there's 2 dates that you want to have these releases for. Does that mean that it's going to get pushed back until the Black Friday time? Or is it going to be something where it's like, hey, maybe in 3 weeks it'll be ready. And if it's ready in 3 weeks, then the world's going to get to see it.
Yeah. So, like the fun part of chemistry and the fun part of being able to make your own products and things of that nature, I like experimenting and troubleshooting and problem solving. And so, we had this. I tried to replicate exactly what I did with the limit. If you guys remember at Thanksgiving last year, we did the tropical sunset version. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to duplicate that, but I'm going to change the color from yellow to blue, and I'm going to change the scent from tropical punch to blue raspberry. And and I was like, oh, this is going to be super easy. It's going to be super simple. I'm just going to absolutely replicate the original batch with the new version. And it completely broke. And, from talking to the chemist, it could be, vanilla is a very difficult oil to work with. And he thinks that's probably the biggest problem is
so there's vanilla in there.
Yeah, so the vanilla softens the raspberry instead of it being a very kind of like a tart, sharp scent. Vanilla, mellows it out a little bit, makes it a little bit sweeter. It just mellows it out. But vanilla is a very, very difficult oil to work with. So, he thinks that the problem is with the vanilla oil. And therefore then it's compounding with the blue dye. So he's like, my suggestions to you is, let's just do raspberry scent by itself and blend that and see if it works. And if that works, then you can add a blue dye and see if that works. And
have you tested that out?
I haven't had time. I went from the original test into I have to move a warehouse 2 states away, right?
And then are those for instance, are those when you receive those fragrances to test out and everything like that? Are they already kind of separated into different components where it's like you have the raspberry and you have the vanilla separate, or do they come pre-mixed and then you're just
no, they're completely separate. Like I have bottles of dyes and bottles of scents and all of that stuff, and the stuff that is tried and true, like the citrus scent that is in Helios, I have big containers of those because I know that they work. Right. So like right now I'm buying sample bottles of blue raspberry, and if that works, then I'll buy a bigger quantity of the blue raspberry. But I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time and money into something that doesn't work.
Gotcha. I'll text you after this. I might have a suggestion to maybe like a small pivot that might work without making the scent all too crazy and too tardy. But that's cool. So I mean,
and the other thing the other problem that I've run into, like I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Hydra does not hold up to the bubblegum smell that it originally was, because the surfactant. The surfactant that is in Apex and the surfactant that's in Hydra and is in Peleus and is in Helios, the surfactant eats oil. Like that's what its job is. Its job, dissolve oils. And so like the first 2 weeks that I make Hydra, it smells wonderful. And then by week 3, all of a sudden you can kind of smell the bubble gum, but it's gone. And it's because the oil is down. It's just being dissolved, and it's pissing me off because now I'm like, you can have a really, really good rinseless, but now you have the same problem that you have with Apex, which is Apex doesn't have a scent. If Hydra doesn't have a scent, then people are going to get pissed off about that too. And it's just like, oh my God. So
Hydra's
you can have like an unbelievable. What's that?
It's such a great product. I've
they are
been
great
going
products.
through like rinselesses recently just because I'm trying to not be kind of this, I guess, the only rinseless hater in the world, because I've been a rinseless hater forever. And I tried Hydra and I'm like, man, this is so good. Like, it doesn't compare to like anything else. It really is. It doesn't even come close. And so like I have like one or two more rinselesses that I think I'm gonna try, but like so far it's just Hydra. Like there's nothing else that comes close to it. And so like I'm really, really happy with Hydra in general.
And honestly, the surfactant that we use has revolutionized at least 4 of my products. But
Yeah, I think whatever's in there in particular, the biggest standout to me, it's just mainly 2 things. But the biggest standout to me is like cleaning efficacy. That's the one thing that I've noticed of every rinses. It's like I have to work 3 times as hard to get the same level of clean as I do just any basic wash. That basic to me, right? So like if you were to compare it to like, let's say something that's a lot more commonly used, like let's say just like an Adam's car shampoo, or even like a Chemical Guys like Honeydew or whatever people used to use a lot, right? Like these lower cost products, then like it's somewhat more comparable. But once I compare it to like a Carpro Reset or some of the newer like Labo Cosmetica stuff that I've been in love with since I've started using it, once I start comparing the performance of rinses to any of those products, there's no point in using rinses. Like rinses just go straight into the trash for me. But I use Hydra, and Hydra, while it's still, I'm not getting the same level of like cleaning power as I would out of like a Labo Cosmetica product, I'm still getting a really, really good level of cleaning power that's like almost like Carpro Reset level, to where I don't, at least from in my world, like I never intend to replace a soap, like a dedicated soap with a rinseless. A rinseless for me is going to be like more on like a specific use case type of thing. If I can only wash indoors,
right.
For me right now, I'm in a season where it's like the exact opposite of what somebody else's situation might be. I think most people would think it's like, oh, winter, you want to bust out the rinseless because you can't wash outside because it's snowing. I'm in Miami, so for me, it's like the exact opposite. It's like 100 degrees out. It's boiling hot. I'm gonna get water spots everywhere and get like unnecessarily fatigued if I'm working outside. But if I stay indoors, I'm at my warehouse, I have air conditioning. In the personal garage, I did install a mini split as well, so it doesn't get super, super cold in there, but it's cooler than being outside, and I can still bust out the rinseless, in this case Hydra, and get a really, really solid clean in a sort of like low effort way. And so like Hydra's really been kind of like a redemption for rinseless for me.
I appreciate that. Yeah, but again, like as a manufacturer, you have to keep walking this line of, got this really, really magic in a bottle surfactant, but it's going to cost me, the pleasantries of everything else, right? So this surfactant, not only does it clean, but it has a natural lubricity. It adds a natural lubricity to it. So like, I want to use this surfactant because it's going to contribute to all of the things that you need in a soap and in a rinseless, which is you want to reduce friction of dragging dirt across the surface. You want to reduce friction of micro marring the paint. You want a surfactant that cleans better than anything, but the sacrifice is it's going to attack everything. It's going to attack, oils, and it's going to attack dyes, and it's going to attack all of these. Like if you look at Kraken, you'll see the dye will actually settle out of the Kraken, and then you have to shake. I remember Doug from Detail It. He was like, "Hey, did you stop adding dye to the Kraken?" And I was like, "Did you shake the bottle up?" And then he shook the bottle up, and of course it turned back to ochre green. It's because those components, they reject a lot of stuff that's not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Like colors and scents are added as secondary and tertiary to just make the user experience more pleasant. But as far as what it's designed to do, you want your product to clean. You want your product to not damage your paint surface. You know what I mean? So like going back to that original question, do you want performance versus versatility versus user experience? For me, performance is paramount. I want things to work better than anything else that's out there. And then secondary and tertiary is user experience and versatility. Those things are all, let's accomplish this mission first and then make it pleasant for everybody to use. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know, but that's always been my approach to making the products. And that's why I think that they work as well as they do, but the user experience might not be as great because Apex doesn't smell like, blueberries, and Hydra after a couple of weeks no longer smells like bubblegum because the surfactants that is doing the heavy lifting kills everything. The good guys and the guys are equally destroyed.
Rick Smith.
Rick Smith.
Yep, that's me.
How you doing, brother?
Good. How about you, Israel?
Oh man, I'm just might as well be coming out of a coma.
Yeah.
But yeah, today's been pretty solid.
Yeah. So what have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Man, so last 2 weeks I've been a little bit under the weather, so just literally been bedridden for the last 2 weeks. But then before that, I've been building out this warehouse to start sort of like a PPF tinting and detailing business. And so, one-man team building the space out has taken up a lot of time. So pretty much, I think maybe a month after I saw you guys last, that's kind of what's been taking up pretty much my entire life, has been getting that set up and everything like that. And yeah, how about yourself? What have you been up to?
Just working, just the grind. I'm sorry that you've been sick. That sucks. I haven't been under the weather, but yeah, just myself, fortunately, but just been working and grinding it out. Just busy. So staying busy and putting up with Aaron and trying to deal with him. And
your Instagram is going crazy, man. With you're out here doing his marketing, making these Phoenix ads, dropping those affiliate codes out there and everything like that.
Yeah, somebody has to. He won't. I mean, it's kind of a one-man show. I try to get on him, man. Do it. Put yourself out there. So I do it, and so yeah, I just hope everybody likes what I put out. So
Well, thank you, Platinum Auto Care, for coming out. Appreciate you watching the show on a Saturday night. I think I'm getting ready to bail as well. We're about to hit 3 hours. I'm going to do one last thing here before we sign off. And of course, I do all of the things that we are known for doing here on the Curmudgeon's Corner. But for a 30 milliliter graphene bottle of
the grand prize
of Kronos, which episode did Rick Smith take over as producer of the Corner as opposed to Curmudgeon's Corner? Which episode did Rick Smith take over as the producer for the show?
Ooh, that wasn't that long ago. That's relatively fresh.
That is correct. That is great. Thanks, Dark Dragon. Appreciate it. Great stream. 5th anniversary. Boom, boom, boom. Nope. Nope. Sorry, Mary. Nope. And by the way, there are 2 possible answers because it happened in between 2 episodes. There were 2 episodes and there was a whole bunch of like silly shit that went on. And so I will accept one of 2 answers for this graphene bottle. And so far, nobody has even come into the right section of time. I will tell you, it's not the 50s, it's not the 60s, it's not.
It's been within the last. I mean, if we want to give him a hit, it's been within the
There
last.
it is. I'll take it. 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 Who hit that number? It was Nate. Nate Brad, number 72. I would accept either episode 71 or 72, but it was episode 71.
Well, he said both, so.
Yep, 71 or 72 because it happened in between those two episodes. So
I
what is
don't
it,
even
Nate?
remember.
Of course you don't. Nate Brad.
What do you mean? Of course I don't.
You know, because you have the attention span of a goldfish. Anyway, that being said, Nate, send me an email, Aaron@PhoenixEOD.com, and I'll get you a 30 milliliter bottle of graphene, which Chelsea just dropped a video today talking about. We did a torture test together, and I just love Chelsea. She has been like a true sister. I couldn't ask for a better sister in Chelsea. So drop me an email, Aaron@Phoenix. What'd you say?
Oh, I said congratulations, Nate.
That's exactly what you said. All right. So yeah, Aaron@PhoenixEOD.com. Send me and give me your contact information, and I'll send you out a bottle. So the winners tonight was Dark Dragon for Helios. I need to reach out to Mad River Outfitters in Ohio to go fly fishing. Enthusiast won a Peleus, and Nate Brad won a 30 milliliter graphene bottle. So
that
all
means
of that.
Have it down.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. Carry on.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's run let's run the end of the program, shall we? First of all, let's get rid of that. Okay. All right. So the Phoenix Rise from the Ashes campaign, it is always, I should change that. Hold on a second, kids. It's changed that. I can't believe that I need to change that.
Rest in peace, Bloomfield Drive.
Yep. Rest in peace, Bloomfield Drive. All right. It's 40, 30 Simon Road.
I need to figure out how much flights are to come out see you out there, brother.
Yeah, well, yeah, either one. You can either fly into Cleveland or you can fly into Pittsburgh, and I'll come get you.
You let me know when you're thinking about coming up, and I'll try to come up as well. It's not too far. It's closer for me than Jersey was.
All right, there you go. So Phoenix Rise from the Ashes campaign. You can send donations to Phoenix E.O.D. at 4030 Simon Road, Boardman, Ohio. Zip code 44512. Whoop, whoop. And then if you want, you can always go to our Pay It Forward GoFundMe page to help pay for shipping, because that broke me last year. It was absolutely wild. If you want to support this program and the other, you can support our program at thehouseofrags.com, and you can reference the corner, and that will help support the show. If you would like to be a guest on Curmudgeon's Corner, or know somebody that you'd like me to interview, or if you'd like to contact the show, drop us an email at thecorner@phoenixeod.com. You can always also just call the hotline at 609-232-2927. Make sure you follow us over on Instagram at Curmudgeon's Corner Pod. And then the important stuff. Suicide prevention and crisis counseling resources. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, seek help from a professional and call 988. The United States' first nationwide 3-digit mental health crisis hotline. 988 will connect callers with trained mental health counselors. You can also text HOME to 741-741 in the US and Canada to reach the crisis text line. And then, of course, you can always go to the apa.org/topics/crisis-hotlines. And they will connect you with everything and anything that you are struggling with, be it physical, emotional, mental, substance, whatever it is that you are facing. You do not have to be in this alone. And I beg you to reach out to somebody. And I will also encourage you, if you haven't heard from a loved one or a friend in some time, call them, text them, reach out to them. The darkness does not allow you to reach out to people. I have the most incredible support network that I could ever dream for. I mean, my friend and family network is greater than anything that I could have ever dreamed for. But when I'm in the darkness, I can't reach out to anybody. So if you haven't heard from somebody in some time that you normally used to talk to on a regular, please call them, text them. Just make sure that they're okay. Hey, just checking in. I love you. And then last but not least, if you enjoyed this show, please like and subscribe, and most importantly, share with someone that might benefit from hearing this message. On the corner, you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. And I hope to see you guys in 2. And then until then, see you on the corner. Love you guys.